Hello and welcome to this mid-morning taste challenge. I have two Highland single malt Scotch whiskeys. This is Glenglassaugh Evolution, introduced in 2012. It's now discontinued. I don't know exactly when they discontinued, but their whole lineup has been revamped. So if you'd have looked at the website years ago and then looked at it recently, it's all different whiskeys. I guess, well, maybe whatever they had wasn't really selling too well, and they decided to revamp it. Now they got all this, what they call coastal whiskeys. But, I bought this. It was like a $55 bottle that I could see that was the price online, but I found it for $15.99 at Savannah Discount in Marrero, Louisiana. Although Google Maps says it's a different town called not Marrero, but Estelle. But anyway, maybe that's why they had it for $15.99. Maybe they knew that it was going to be discontinued and they cut it. Hey, I benefited from it. Brian Carpenter says cheers. So cheers back to you. So I noticed that when I was looking at it in the store, it said on the front of the box, it said finished or aged. It said aged in, no age statement, but aged in X Tennessee Tennessee whiskey barrels. I said, I bet that's Jack Daniel's barrels, and I bet it's Brown-Forman. So I pull it out the box very carefully, not to damage it. And I looked, it says imported by Brown-Forman Beverages, Louisville, Kentucky. I said, oh, well, got it. So the company that owns Evolution is still Brown-Forman today. Brown-Forman, who owns Jack Daniel's, Old Forester. Out in California, they own Corbel, Champagne and Brandy Company, and they own Glenglassaugh Scotch single malt distillery. Okay. Real cork. Here's Trader Joe's, also Highland single malt whiskey. Don't know when it was introduced, but I know that Trader Joe's was founded in 1967 and they got bought out by Aldi in 1979. So they're an Aldi subsidiary. Gotta check my labels. %40 alcohol. It's double matured. They age it in some oak barrels. They don't say what, just some oak barrels. All right, that's all they say. And it's finished in ex-bourbon barrels. So whose bourbon, we don't know. And it's procured by Hamish Robertson for Trader Joe's. Hamish Robertson is a independent bottler. They don't make whiskey. They just get it, like I said, procured for you. They'll get it for you and have it packaged nice and you can sell it. And that's what they do for the Trader Joe's product. Now, who makes it? We don't know. Now, we know this is from Glenglassaugh Distillery, and we know that the distillery is an old one. It was founded in 1875, but it's gone under so many different owners. It keeps changing owners, but Brown-Forman has been the owner for about, I think I'm going on 20 years. Well, over 10 years, let's say. Over 10 years. This is a 2017 bottle. It says right there, bottled on December 6, 2017. Okay. And it's 50% alcohol. And it's non-chill filtered. And it has natural color, or as they say, color. Okay, so the color's natural, no caramel color added. It's non-chill filtered, and And like I say, I got it for the incredibly low price of $15.99. Not a joke. Jaime Torres says, Jay, why does Walgreens always have the cheapest price for Mexican-made beers and Albertsons wants $5 more for the same thing? I don't know, because I never buy beer at Walgreens. I never go to Walgreens, and I didn't notice that there was a price difference. I rarely go to Albertsons because they don't have one in my town. The closest Albertsons is like 34 miles from me, so I basically never go there. Okay, if I'm in that town, I might drop by. I usually don't find anything I want, but they have a pretty big selection. But they're kind of pricey, you know. I always find it kind of expensive. Now, the Glenglassaugh is going to be much lighter. It's going to be pale, nearly straw. So if I look at it and I see that super pale appearance, I'm going to know what it is, so I can't look. Should I be able to tell these apart? I should be able to, considering one is 100 proof and one is 80 proof, or in other words, 50% alcohol and 40%. But they're both Highland Scotch whiskeys, and they're both aged in ex-bourbon barrels. One of them's ex-Tennessee whiskey barrels, but Tennessee whiskey is a type of bourbon. So, yeah. I think the proof is going to give it away. Now, I don't know about the other factors. Price, like I said, this was an unusually low price, $15.99. That was like 70% discount. This was the regular price, $17.99 at the time of purchase, May 2022, nearly 3 years ago. The price is almost assuredly going up, but I don't know that. Yeah, it smells like just generic, you know, generalized whiskey. Nothing special, nothing bad, just generalized. More of a caramel or candy corn aroma, like, you know how to give that out at Halloween, the little candy corns, which is like probably made from congealed corn syrup. Makes sense, doesn't it? Finished it in bourbon, which is mostly corn, bourbon cask, and it's going to take on that corn aroma and flavor, I think. But these are all 100% malted barley. These are single malt whiskeys, malted barley. One type of grain, malted barley. Could be different single malt whiskeys from a single distillery, though. But all right. So no corn or wheat or rye in these two. They're not blended whiskeys. They're not blended, which would be good for some people, and other people wouldn't care either way. And then some people would not like that. Some people don't like single malt. Some people love it. You know, some people rather blended. I like both, but that's me. Yeah. So I think initially that's the Glenglassaugh, and that's the Trader Joe's, just because of that heavy candy corn aroma. Let's go with the taste. Cheers. Should be able to get it right now. Well, the body seems light. And I am getting that corn syrup, you know, almost like pancake syrup or waffle syrup. Yeah, over here. Seems heavier body. Seems like it has a stronger presence. In other words, seems like it's got more alcohol. Heavier body, a little stronger. But is it a better flavor? I'm not too sure about that. It's like a stronger version of the same thing. Sort of like corny, meaning corn, maize if you live in Scotland or Ireland, maize, or Spain. Or when I went to Spain, all the beers on a canned ingredient say maize. Is one of the ingredients. You wouldn't say corn. A lot of times in Europe, if they say corn, they mean wheat. But anyway, so yeah, corn, pretty strong and much stronger. I'm gonna take a second sip and then we're gonna designate it. Light. But that can be a trick though, you see. I don't know. See, I think I'm getting fooled because that one tastes like those corn nuts. And I said this in all the other videos that the Trader Joe's tastes like those corn nuts they sell in the Mylar bags in the snack food section at the store. And they got like different sprinkle powder on it, you know, like seasoning on it, like chili powder, barbecue, Cool Ranch, well, whatever flavor they have at the store. I don't see those too much anymore. They used to be really popular. I think that's kind of died away. Maybe just where I go, they don't have it so much. And I don't really buy snack food that much either, except for potato chips or corn chips. So it might be a big factor. The fact that I don't ever go in the section. Okay, might be as common as water. So I actually think this one has a better flavor. It's much smoother, less of that candy corn flavor and corn nuts. More of the white bread, which would be the malted barley. Even though it's 50% alcohol, I think it's lighter in its overall presentation. I think that's a Glenglassaugh, and it is worth it. Now, I don't know about the price thing now. $17.99 standard price, $55.99 standard price over here. If you can find it, chances are you won't, because like I said, it's been discontinued. You might find a lingering bottle here or there. You see, you might find it on discount like I did for $15.99. There would be your best benefit, right? But I'm gonna call this Glenglassaugh, and I think it's way better. But I don't know about 20 something dollars better, $30 better. Oh my goodness. Well, blow me down. That's the Glenglassaugh. It did worse. My initial, see, I always second guess myself. Why do I do that? What did I say when I first started? I was like, oh, this is so much heavier. It's got to be the 50% alcohol version. You know, it'd be stronger. But now I'll start second guessing, say, oh, no, maybe I'm wrong. Yeah, it was darker. Cheers to you, Bobby D. Where can I find camo? Couldn't tell you. Barbecue corn nuts. Yeah, that's a good flavor. So I was totally shocked here. The Trader Joe's in this particular taste challenge can't answer for the other ones, especially the ones that haven't happened yet. You know, each one is different. You think you got it down pat, you don't. What can I say? The Trader Joe's was the smoother, lighter one. The Glenglassaugh was stronger, bolder, a little more bitey and not so great. Like when you take a multiple choice test, always stick with your first choice of answers. Right, multiple choice. Something in your mind is telling you to answer, but then you start arguing with yourself. You start second guessing yourself and like, no, maybe not. And that's what happened here. I was like, well, maybe not. I mean, I don't think I was totally stupid or wrong or like crazy headed in it, because I know this is 50%, this is 40%. That's a 10% difference. It's a difference. It does make a difference. So, and I'm thinking, the bolder flavor, but then, and that was the right thing to guess. But then it had that corn. You say, well, Hell, if they're using ex Jack Daniels barrels, which almost assuredly they are, because it's the who owns it, Brown Forman. What Tennessee whiskey do they make? Jack Daniels. Common sense. A child could figure this out. And and Jack Daniels is so heavily corn, and it can be kind of bitey. It's not the smoothest thing in the world. You say, why you think it's $23.99? Well, there's your answer. It's not the greatest thing in the world, although it's got a following. But they make really fancy Jack Daniels. I'm not ripping on that. I saw some yesterday at a store, 12-year age. I mean, the stuff you buy at Walmart, just the black label Jack Daniels, that's basic. That's a starter. And that's where most people finish. They start and finish right there. They don't go any further. And they ain't drinking it neat anyway. They're mixing it with Coke. Or they bought it at Walmart, so they're mixing it with Great Value Cola. You say, oh no. And I'm thinking, oh yeah. But then other people, a very small amount of people, they'll go, oh, let me try this one. Let me try the Frank Sinatra edition. Let me try the 12-year. Let me try the bottle and bond. Let me try the non-chill filtered, whatever. They're much more expensive Jack Daniels. And they will try it. And they'll say, whoa, this is much better than the run-of-the-mill stuff. But that's not where they make their money. They're making their money off the if you want to call it the swill, which I would never say that, but just the regular that they're putting out. But they're going to put the special editions out because there is that craft, it's like craft beer, craft whiskey. There's that little special area. And so they want to tap into that, the fans, and they might even lose money on some of it, but they're just going to do that. Same thing with Crown Royal. Oh, they have very expensive versions of Crown Royal, all kind of pricey, $100, $200, $300 bottles that hardly anybody's going to buy. They're going to make their big money off the regular old run-of-the-mill Crown Royal, which is fine, I guess. I think it's fine, but it's nothing special. And you could just save money and buy a much cheaper substitute, such as Rich and Rare Reserve, which I saw yesterday, 2 days ago, not yesterday, 2 days ago for $9.99. Rich and Rare Reserve, $9.99, regular bottle. Would it beat Crown Royal? It doesn't really beat it in taste. It's kind of even, but think about the price, $9.99. But they make specialty editions of that. Of Crown Royal that would be, like I said, $200 or $300 a bottle, which are going to be way better. Now, do they make specialty Rich and Rare Reserve? Well, Rich and Rare Reserve is a specialty because the regular Rich and Rare, that thing is questionable to say the least. I saw that at Walmart this morning. I was like, oh, it's still $7.92. That's a mess. That one is a mess. But it's not terrible. But when you drink it, you're like, whoops, whoops. I think there are some specialty Rich and Rare. I think there's like a 12-year, but try finding it. It's like you can't find Eagle Rare half the time. And they make a double eagle, but try finding that. It's like they make it in theory. Do they actually make it? They theoretically. Yeah, Dr. Thunder, right? Dr. Thunder. Burley Sullivan says, you. Hey, Burley, cheers back to you. So, yeah, I got it wrong. What can I do? Where do I go? Who do I turn to? You know what I mean? It's like I lost this challenge. And I'm shocked though, because you think $55 is gonna kill a $18 bottle, $17.99 bottle, but it didn't happen. But then on the other hand, as a I'm not making excuses, but to defend myself, not making excuses, but you could counterpoint me and say, well, why do you think they got rid of it? Okay, it's discontinued. Was it that great of a success? Maybe other people didn't like it. Maybe they brought up the same point you brought up, a little harsh, that it tasted like candy corn. And it's like I paid $56 for $55.99 for this thing. It tastes like candy corn. It could have been complaints about it. And I know the sales weren't that good because when do you ever see Glenglassaugh getting bought? I don't see it. You say, oh yeah, but I live in an area of Brooklyn where there's a niche store and people buy it. Yeah, okay, a niche store where people buy it occasionally. That ain't gonna make too much money. People buying it in a niche store occasionally. So they might have decided, you know what? I mean, it could be a lot of reasons. Like, you know what? Why did we ever buy this distillery? Why did we buy this? We ain't made any money. I'm not saying maybe they're making a fortune, but I don't get that impression. We got a whole lineup. It's all a bunch of bombs. It has to be that attitude, because why would you get rid of all of it? And then suddenly overnight, there's a whole new lineup. All of their whiskeys are new. It's like the website just changed overnight. You didn't get rid of it because it was a big success. You got rid of it because you're trying something else. Now, I never tried all the lineup. I tried this one. This is it. I don't know what the other stuff in the lineup tasted like. There's no way to say. And I haven't tried any of the new, what they call coastal whiskey, so I cannot comment. But there's got to be a reason you would not totally revamp your entire lineup if the other ones are the big sellers, right? There's got to be an answer. I mean, you say, well, Glenlivet, that's so bland. The Glenlivet 12-year and Glenlivet Family Reserve. Yeah, it might be bland, but it's been on the market for about ever. Everywhere I ever go, they got Glenlivet 12. And half the time Glenfiddich 12, but not all the time. Glenfiddich is like half the time. But Glenlivet from Shivers Brothers, every liquor store I've ever been in my life got Glenlivet 12-year. If you want to say it's bland, fine. I'll kind of actually agree with that. But it ain't been on the market for all these years because people hate it. I know that much. It's not on the market selling like crazy because people hate it. And that's the whole rub about Budweiser and Bud Light. Why I started my channel, because people were like making videos saying, oh, Budweiser, that's terrible. I hate it. I'd rather drink water. If I went to, and they'll say this, it's such a joke, if I went to a party and all they had was Budweiser, I'd drink water. I'm like, man, I see how many videos you make a month and all the drinking you do. Ain't no way you're going to a party and they got free Bud Light or Budweiser, and you're going to drink water. Everybody knows that's not true. But you'll probably be all dramatic talking about how you got to choke it down. Oh, I had to choke it down, that Budweiser. Oh, I only drank 13 of them. Only 13. Okay, yeah, it was really bad, wasn't it? But you know what the point I'm making? It's like there is no way the sales would be that high on planet Earth, or I'm talking about the whole world, Budweiser being so huge around the world, if people hated it. And it's not going to happen. It will not happen. That cannot happen. Like Heineken. Oh, that's the worst. Heineken. Oh, I'd rather be tortured. I'd rather be captured in Beirut and tortured by terrorists for 10 years than drink Heineken. That's the worst stuff ever. It's like, well, how could it be one of the top 5 selling beers in the world? Oh, those people don't know what they're drinking. They don't know good beer. They don't really like it. It's like they went to a barbecue. They drank a 12-pack of Heineken over that whole barbecue that Saturday afternoon. But like they literally did not like it. You believe that? You actually believe that statement? Okay, you believe Glenlivet is popular because people don't like it? You think Chivas Regal's popular because people don't like it? Yeah, I agree, it's dull. I agree. I even think Budweiser and Bud Light is sort of dull. They're kind of dull. They're not amazing, They're amazing in some ways, that it's like always the same. That's amazing. Like you go anywhere in the world, you drink it, it's like always the same. But all right. So anyway, the winner, which I can't believe it, is the Trader Joe's. I never dreamed that it could win, you just said, I bet you $20. I would have taken that bet. I'd have said, "Oh yeah, it ain't gonna win. I'll get $20 from you. Give me my money," and then I'd have felt played because I'd have had to pay you. So, but there it is. It happened. Happened live on the air. On the internet, on the cable, on the Wi-Fi. So hey, too bad for Glenglassaugh. How can I feel bad for it? Don't even exist anymore. Got discontinued. Video games, 1980. Say, yeah, that's right. Keg Bud tastes better. Well, yeah, of course. Draft, any beer tastes better. I mean, you can't beat draft beer. But my father said always gave him a headache and had intestinal problems when he would drink draft beer. I said, really? Oh yeah. And I've talked to so many people say, I love Budweiser on draft. Like, not, Budweiser in a can or a bottle, they don't really like it. But on draft, it's like, oh, it's so good. I was eating seafood platter, fried catfish, fried shrimp, coleslaw. Oh man, it's so good. But I got home later, I had a terrible headache. And I said, I told these people, I say, well, draft beer is not pasteurized. So if there's any like bacteria in it, it's not going to be dead. It's not going to get killed. So you drinking it and it's going in you and it's making you might be sensitive to that. And that's why they get sick. But I could drink Budweiser all day and I don't get sick. It doesn't bother me. It doesn't affect me. I mean, it affects me like I might be talking about, y'all ever heard of Missing Persons? You remember that band? Nobody can find them, But you know what I'm saying? Like, affect me to make me ill. No, it doesn't. It's just like literally drinking water. But other people are very sensitive to that. Very sensitive. Okay. In advertising, age 18 to 40 demographics are an important segment. Yeah, probably like the most important segment, I would think. I have a cold can of Heineken on a hot summer day. Oh, I love a cold can. Oh, yeah. Man, I always get depressed when I drink Heineken, though, because I miss Heineken Special Dark. I used to love Heineken Special Dark. Had like that roasted, toasted malt, and they got rid of it. Oh, like Michelob Special Dark right there. Right there. Man, I used to love Michelob Special Dark. It was expensive. Like I'm talking about the 90s. It was expensive in the 90s prices. But I would buy it sometimes because it was so good. But naturally, they discontinued it. Anything I like to get rid of it. So if I like a beer, watch out because they're going to get rid of it. After age 40, okay, let's close this out. After age 40, people tend to make their choices and stick with, say, a Budweiser or a Jack Daniels, or they stick with a certain brand. You researched that? Or if it's just something you kind of noticed? Because that's something I kind of noticed too. I didn't research it either. I haven't done a study, but I've noticed that people will like latch on to a brand and they'll never deviate. I don't care what it is. Sandwich spread. I talked about this before. Sandwich spread, like you take a knife, put on a piece of bread. They got like Blue Plate. That's popular here. I'm talking about Louisiana. Blue Plate sandwich bread. It's made in New Orleans as a factory. I don't know where the factory is. Some industrial area, obviously, where nobody would really go. And I know people that will pay $5 for a canister of it, a jar, where they could get a different brand for half the price. They would never buy. I'll never buy that. They're like 65 years old. I'll never buy that. I was like, you ever tried Kraft sandwich bread? No, I hate it. I was like, well, how do you hate it if you never bought it? And somebody told me this like about a week and a half ago. It was a brand of like barbecue. Was it barbecue sauce or I'm thinking it was like barbecue sauce or hamburger buns. And he was telling me, oh, I hate that stuff. He hates it. I'm like, you tried that? No, but I hate it. And I'm like, okay, First of all, that's a stupid statement to make. You hate something you never tried. And secondly, I don't know what you're talking about. Well, somebody was telling me he wanted. I talked to a guy that was looking for breadcrumbs. He wanted Progresso. I want Progresso Italian. A lot of people want that. They make a lot of stuff with breadcrumbs, like veal cutlets and so forth. But I said, what about Vigo? That's like a famous brand. Oh, that's horrible. Horrible. And I'm looking at him like, could you really tell this apart from Progresso in a blind taste test? But the guy's like 70 years old. And like you saying, they're like latched on. Like it's hard. It's not like I don't like it as much. They never say that. They'll never say like, well, I don't care for that quite as much. No, it's like an extreme. Like it's horrible. I'm like, oh, really? I miss all the Michelob specialty beer, says Craft Beer Tastic. I know. I'm so disgusted by that. Oh, they got Michelob specialty beers. What are you talking about? They got Michelob Ultra infusions with lime and salt. Oh, and they got lime and agave nectar. But I know what you're talking about. Like the Pilsner and the Dortmunder style and the red lager and all that stuff, but they got rid of it because I guess they didn't make money because nobody bought it. But except me and you and a few other people. My friend David used to love that stuff. But man, Michelob Special Dark, that was like a classic. And everybody that drank it loved it. Only problem is only 12 people ever bought it. Okay, anyway, thanks for watching. I'm shocked, but I got to live with it. Like it's a problem, I got to live with it. Michelob. Trader Joe's Highland single malt cask, bourbon cask finish wins the day, and I never would have dreamed I'd have lost money on that. And get ready for Pabst Light. Yeah, it's coming out. It's probably in the stores. Might be next week, maybe this week. Pabst Light. Somebody told me yesterday at work, he said, didn't they already have a Pabst Light? That's like an old brand. I said, yeah, it used to make Pabst Blue Ribbon Light. And actually they made Pabst Easy, but I said something happened. And now they're bringing out a new one, a new version. Yeah, something happened, like the company didn't know what they were doing. But anyway, for the last 50 years. But anyway, we'll see. All right, take care, everybody. Bye-bye.